Hi everybody. Happy Thursday, I believe it is, and I think it's December 13th. So I had to think about it. I have today off and tomorrow, so slept really late. But this is Diane, or AKA Lucky Gardenia, Dashboard Confessional. I do not have a dashboard in front of me. I just threw up a quilt in the background that I made a year or so ago, and lighting's not great, but this is just a really quick hello. And I label my videos Flosstube, and I think maybe I need to change that because it's less and less about stitching. Although I did have some things sitting down here that I was going to show you. I think I had mentioned. Anyway, mine's more of a life update, my craziness, what I'm up to, what Texas things, crazy memories, anything that really pops in my head. But I believe I'd mentioned that I bought a kit at Hobby Lobby, and when I went to stitch it, I think it was like an abstract face of a cow. Really cute, but the floss, whatever floss they used, you just couldn't separate it. And I'm going to try these other kits. But this is the brand. It's the Artista. And I've got several of these. Really cute. And usually on those, I end up not using the Ada they use in it. I mean, they don't, I usually like 3 inches on each side. There is just not that much grace. And so I just go and get something bigger and sew the edges and start with that. But with the cow, abstract cow, I can pick out my own colors and figure that out. Now with these others, if they're hard to separate, I just won't ever buy them again. But about to head out to do a couple errands, going to a friend's house to help decorate a Christmas tree, and still thinking about putting up a Christmas tree here in my house. And I love Christmas trees. I love the lighting. I will probably put it up in my bedroom. My mom loved Christmas trees, and that was the favorite thing at Christmas when she was alive, is to go see her tree. And growing up, it was so funny. My sister Tracy, and I may have already talked about this before, so pardon me if I have, but I was talking to her on the phone the other day, and we were talking about Christmas trees. And she has, I don't know how many that she has, but she put up, I think, like 19. And they're all specialized trees. And she has these little placards insert into them with names of what the tree theme is. And some are big, some are small. The family tree is the biggest one. She has a tree that's for my mom. She has one that's a snowman. It looks like a snowman. She has a Christmas tree that is reflective of her grandchildren, and they're adorable. And then she has one that has all snowmen ornaments. She has one that has, I think, all Santas. She has one that has all black and white ornaments. Then she has these like toppers, and I have never seen anything like it. And I'm like, Tracy is pretty crafty like I am, and she's just great all around. She's a great sister. And I said, where did you find that topper? She said that she had gotten the idea from Hobby Lobby, and she hadn't seen any for sale, so she made some herself. So I'm going to have to look closer at those pictures. But she had actually taken pictures of them to take to her classroom to share with them. But, I mean, she's got the Christmas tree down. I mean, HGTV could come in and do a Christmas show in her house. That is, and Jay, her husband, helps put them all up. They are all very organized. She is much more organized than me. So, kudos to her, and I was so happy she took pictures, so now I have them and I can show them to others. So I'm about to get out in the rain. Like I said, I threw this together, just my lamp in my living room. I've got the little desk lamp, light that I use. The tripod is sitting on top of a antique tackle box, and we're just rolling with it. I have a co-host that has gone to sleep on the job. She is not providing any input or any entertainment, and her name is Miss Lucy Lou Dancing Bear. So I think she needs to go on performance improvement because she needs to pull her weight on this. But actually, I was hoping she would jump in here. You could see her, but she's taking a nap, and Birdie and Lucy sleep a lot during the day. So I don't know. Lucy, I've had her for almost 10 years, and she was probably a couple years old before I got her, and then Birdie's going to turn 13 in January. So I don't know if it's the weather. Hope, Birdie's been hanging out in bed after she eats, so I hope she's not progressing in her illness. So prayers needed there. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you about? So going to go help decorate a tree. I hope. Bad weather's flying in, coming into our area, and depending on where you're located could mean how bad it is. I don't think it's going to be icy or snowy, but the winds in some counties could be up to 50 miles an hour. And I have a little bitty, I call her Tinny. She's a little Corolla, and I don't see her holding to the ground very steady, so that should be interesting. So hopefully the weather will cooperate and go get some dinner, go help decorate a tree, listen to some Christmas music. Did want to share an idea I had and get your ideas on it, and was going to the Christmas tree farm and looking at the lights. And we used to do that as kids, is look at all the, drive away around in different areas that would really put in effort and make all kinds. Back then they didn't have so many available, and we always would pick out our favorites. And of course there's parts of town that has become almost an attraction, right? I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about your normal everyday Joe neighborhood. And I was thinking, wow, if I went to all that trouble, usually you're talking in the car with whoever you're with, and I've got some water here. Anyway, whoever you're in the car with, picking out your favorites. And I just popped in my head, and I'm like, wouldn't it be great to get some blue ribbons and maybe a Christmas card and tape them on the door anonymously? And I thought, I would be thrilled. If I went to all that trouble and someone I didn't even know who did it, not part of any organized, contest, it just would, spread the joy. There is too much to worry about, too much sadness, so much. You look at the news, it is just heartbreaking. And I thought, if they obviously have the Christmas spirit in their heart if they're taking the time to decorate. So wouldn't it be nice to get some type of pat on the back, so to speak? And if I got that, it would be a memory maker for me, and I'd be talking to my friends, coworkers, Facebook, Christmas, like a random act of joy. We'll call it joy, because it's not kindness. It's more, let's spread the joy. Let's spread the happiness. And I have a friend that's in, said she'll go do it, bounced it off of my daughter Jennifer. She's totally in. I told you my kids did not fall far from the tree. Robin, talked to her about it yesterday. She wasn't in the best of moods, so I'm not sure if she'll buy into it. We're getting together with her, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So if we don't do it there, then my friend and I are going to go do it. So somewhere, so after Jen was like, oh, that's a great fun. And we already had planned to get together, play games. And I'm not talking about doing it for hours. I'm talking about drive around in your local neighborhood and look for someone who did a really nice job. So I'm like, where am I going to get some ribbons? I am totally a Prime member. And so there's my go-to. And it first pops up all those nice, expensive $20 ribbons. And it's like, with the rosettes, that's what it's called. It's like, no, don't have time for don't have the money. And I want multiple, right? I don't want one. I didn't want, some came in first, second, and third, or honorable mention. It's like, no, all my picks are going to get blue ribbons, first place. So the first one I found that was reasonable, right? I think I had 25 and it was like for $9, but it said made in China at the bottom of it. It's like, no, I don't want that written on the bottom. I don't want made in anywhere on the bottom. So kept looking and actually found one for like $14 in tax, free shipping, Prime, and got it in 2 days, and I had 50 blue ribbons. So I'm ready and able, and just got to find the time to go do it. And don't know if we're going to do a little Christmas card along with it, some type of tape that won't hurt the door, and maybe that blue tape that you use for painting that comes off easily may be good. I was thinking maybe black electrical tape is kind of easy to get off. And, you know, maybe whoever's the fastest, which is probably one of my girls, and have them run up, put it on, you know, tape it up, and then knock on the door or ring the doorbell and just haul. And jump in the car, and maybe we just pull up a little bit and watch, or we go around the block and come back and just see. It'd be nice to see, you know, is it working? Is it making them happy? All in all, you can't go wrong. Who doesn't like a blue ribbon? Even back growing up, you know, doing those field days, you know. Sometimes I got that crummy honorable mention, or you did some type of art project and crafts and you get lousy honorable mention. Anyway, so I've got some fun things planned and coming up, trying to make memories, happy memories, and you know, both parents have passed, and so having to come up with new celebrations and new traditions. So, what's your favorite cookie? Love to know that. Love to know any of your thoughts. And sorry, I just haven't been stitching so much, but like I said, a lot of mine is just life updates, and hopefully you get something out of that. Oh, I did go to a Christmas party for the Dallas Ukulele headquarters group. It's a meetup group, and I think there was like 50 people there. Met some lovely people at the table. I ended up winning a painting. They had like a Yankee Swap white elephant, but it wasn't like funny gifts. It was like under $20, I would think. One of the members paints, and she had painted, I don't know, it may be watercolors. I'm not real sure. It didn't look like acrylic, but it's nicely framed. You know, the brown on the back, the wire for the hanging, and it's a snowman, and it's playing a ukulele, and it's dated, and you know, she signed it, and I thought, perfect. I started playing the ukulele this year, and it's dated, so I thought, perfect gift, and I had to steal it from somebody at our table, so hopefully she's not too mad. I don't think so. May end up joining up with her and her husband and some friends, and didn't. Her husband is very into ukulele playing. Even has been down to the square. I don't know if you can hear Lucy snoring. Anyway, yeah, at work, if I'm on a call and she starts snoring, I have to like kind of let people know that's not me. I don't have a breathing problem. That is actually my dog that is sitting right by me. So, best coworker, but I don't know whether you call her a slacker, but, you know, but she's a companion. She's a great companion, and let me tell you, she is pushy. If I don't give her room to jump up, she is like marching back and forth. There was one training I was doing, and I didn't want her up here. I mean, we were doing it for, our audience was the higher managers in the company, and it's like I can't have her snoring, and so I had to kind of block her from my chair, and I swear she huffed and puffed and didn't blow the house down, but she was letting me know this was not making her happy, but got through my part of the training. Hopefully nobody heard her huffing and puffing, but really have enjoyed her just coming and sitting by me. But I think that's all that I have for right now. I think I'm going to go look for a wreath hanger. I'm going to dig out. I made a wreath years ago. Had to be 20 years ago. And it was from I copied Martha Stewart's examples in her magazine, and it had, you started out with a basic wreath, and then you added like antique looking ornaments to it and attached it, and it's just both sides were covered, and I need to pull it out and probably get a wreath Tupperware thing or container that they have nowadays, and hopefully it's still viable, or I can maybe spruce it up a bit. Oh, one thing. My mom, back when we were kids, we had the Betty Crocker cookie cookbook, and inside of it, it had a gingerbread house, and I'm talking elaborate. And hopefully, I don't know if I talked about this before or not, but my mom made it, and it came out just like the one in the book. I mean, she didn't do artsy, craftsy kinds of thing, but she was artistic. Tracy, my sister, shared with me in one of her pictures, she made a gingerbread house. And she said she made it from 1998. And I said, how in the world is it still together? She said she did like our mom did. She wraps it up in some plastic and puts it in the freezer, pulls it out every year, makes repairs, and it goes back out. And I swear, it still looks great. It is amazing. And I would love to hear about your gingerbread houses, or what unique maybe things you do for the holidays. And I was maybe going to show you. This is not cross stitch, but it is stitching. I am a quilter, and I have made hand piece quilts. I have made hand quilted quilts. I have machine piece for the most part nowadays, but a couple years ago, I don't know if you can see this, and the designer is Corey something, and I've got some of her panels. I ordered some more, like Christmas panels. Let me see if I can hold them up. And different ones, and you offset them with other cute matching fabrics, and trying to, okay, Cora, I can't read the side. It starts with a D, Dartina. I do have her as a friend on Facebook and Instagram. So anyway, I'm going to hold up what I pulled together a couple years ago. I need to machine quilt it, which I'm not that handy at, but let me see if I can get this situated. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really cute. And this was really all panels, but the way you put it together, it looks like it's quilted. And I'm going to use this little matching red as the binding. So in the back is this, and it has some writing. I can't remember if it's Christmas related, but close enough, you know, roughly right is my motto. So I think that will be one of my projects. I actually bought a kit that has some of her fabrics, and she's a wonderful painter, and that's where these designs come from. And maybe do a little machine quilting. So like this one was easy, but this is kind of like, I think the same purpose as cross stitching. You get into like I listen to audiobooks, and I'm listening right now to the Outlander series again. And there's just some books you can just listen to repeatedly, and almost it's good that you already know what it's going to be, because you don't have to listen that closely. but it makes it not dead silence, and kind of get into a meditative state. And it is, you can kind of get into your own little headspace. And anyway, I enjoy it. I don't know if any of you also quilt, but just, I know this is machine done. I did hand bind it. This was machine quilted, but I have made hand quilts. I have done applique. I hand quilted. I am having issues. I won't even show you. One of my fingers on my dominant hand, my right hand, is so swollen that it's won't even stay straight, and I'm having difficulty typing. It is just, I can't tell you how just something that minor just can be a life changer, a game changer. So, I'm able to play the ukulele, thank goodness. It's not one of, I just strum with that hand with my thumb, but it's like, you kind of take things for granted when everything's kind of working, but when it doesn't, you really just have to kind of adapt and do, change it a little bit. And so I'm not ashamed to be working on something like this. It does look pretty. It will be functional. This is functional. And it was fun why I did it. So hopefully y'all have other interest. And I know I didn't have much. Oh, I did order the little, I can't remember the maker of it. I'll have to look it up. The little ornament with the snowman. And I had ordered the other one, I thought, had candy canes, but it showed up, it was the wrong one. And I went back at my order, and sure enough, I had ordered the wrong one. So I ended up with one that I totally have no interest in making, and probably need to go back and order the one. And actually, there was several of them that looked like I would like to do them. And they were small. I think doing smalls may be not small as in, a 40 count fabric, but, just small and, how big it is. Anyway, too many ums. Apologize for that. I do want to, I'm looking into some editing programs, maybe get a ring light to improve my videos. I went back and I was looking at, there's like a YouTube studio, and you can see, everything at a glance. You can see your stats. I've lost a couple of subscribers, and then a couple of thumbs down, and you may get a lot, but you're like, I'm sorry, so I think I'm going to have to put a really big disclaimer that Flosstube, a little bit of Flosstube, a lot of life I update, and hopefully I say it up front, and so people aren't misled. And if they're hardcore, just want stitching info, no, life stories or life update, then I'm probably not the channel. But hopefully I'll find my tribe. And I love to hear about everybody else's traditions, their lives, what's going on in their little world. We're all spread out all over the world, and different cities, different seasons, depending on what hemisphere you're in. And I think that's the beauty of YouTube. So happy holidays wherever you are. Be careful. Spread joy. Give me your ideas for how to spread joy in this season. So I'll talk to you later. I don't know if I'll stop this with this little Insta thing, or you may see me stop it on my own. But happy holidays. Bye.